goal to the left-hand side of your screen, while Mali in the green and white will play from left to right during the course of this 45 minutes, and being a match in the qualifying stage of a major competition. We haven't reached the stage where we have extra time and penalties, just straight 90 minutes. 3 points for a win, 1 each for a draw, and then have a look at the log table, which at the moment, as I said, has Ghana 1 point clear of Madagascar, 1 point clear of Comoros, etc., etc. But I'm sure you can pick that up on one of the many apps that you can get live scores from. And we also like to utilize those occasionally in the comment box. There's any 2 matches that are taking place at the moment. The other match is Libya versus Eswatini, former Swaziland, and Libya leading Eswatini by 2-0. In that encounter, it's in Group D, and if Libya win that, they'll go to 14 points and make it ever tighter in that group as well. But Cape Verde and Cameroon still have to play at the top teams.
Higher press coming here from Mali. Haven't seen much of that in the first period. And Ayew then just fouled on half-white, wins a foul for his side. Party to Siba. Now out over onto that right flank. Urenki, another who saw a lot of the ball in the first 20 minutes or so. Flattered to deceive, though. Some poor decisions in possession, rather ruining some good opportunities. But he's got an opportunity here. Now he can put a good ball in. And he's hit the crossbar and eventually turned behind for a corner. Well, surely that's not what Caleb Urenki was trying there. The Nordulant fullback. The initial thought is it was a cross went wrong, but my word, the keeper had to turn that one onto the crossbar. It turned into a brilliant save from Chigui Diarra. And now the corner comes into the back post and he's fumbled it. And there's the opener. Ghana have taken the lead. It's Alexander Jiku. Moments after goalkeeper Diarra turned a speculative shot onto the crossbar, the resulting corner.
Within 10 seconds, name 3 mystic weapons.
Kilo, Gremendin, Hoga.
Which weapon in Call of Duty would you say is the most underrated?
M16.
ChatGPT gets 123 million visits a day, and most people still use it like a toy. Here is how to use it smart. It's 2025. AI can build a pro-level website within a couple of minutes. Meanwhile,
it completely and just bundled in at the back post.
Guys, link is pinned in the comment. Click there to watch live. Click the pinned comment. That's
basically got to ask the question, why didn't he do better? He wasn't impeded in any way, Kev.
Didn't look like he was impeded. The closest man to him was Mohamed Salisu. The closest man to the ball was Alexander Jiku. It's his 3rd international goal for the 32-year-old to 31-year-old who plays in Turkey with Fenerbahce. And even him bursting into the area had to get past a Malian defender. But this is the man of the moment, and a man who quite easily could have Ghana back at the top of the group and back with a meaningful advantage, because that goal means that Ghana are up to 19 points on a live table. And if Mali do lose this match, it would mean with 7 points difference between themselves and Ghana, with 2 matches remaining, Mali would be out of the question. We spoke about that earlier, and leaving only Comoros and Madagascar the size to challenge Ghana for a place in America, Mexico and Canada. Jiku, the goal scorer, and yeah, bustling, hustling goal it was as well. Mali weren't happy that the referee had allowed play to continue, but I tell you what, the man in the picture with his back to us is the captain of Mali.
Well, I tell you, Koulibaly there, going all the way to Irendi, and he fouled him on that edge of the corner flag. Here you see Urenki shielding the ball. He's doing so well. Koulibaly had all the right, but I think a bit over robust at the end. And look at the play acting there from Urenki. He's gone down as if he's been pole axed. This has just brought another vibe to this game. The fans are on their feet, really exciting. This is what this goal needed, Kev. I mean, the first half we saw some good enterprising football, but nothing to show for it. This goal has just brought life to this game, and I think that's going to really be a thriller minute from this moment on.
But let's not forget how it all started with that shot from near the halfway line by the right-sided fullback Caleb Urensky, which came back off the crossbar with the goalkeeper all at sea, and that's what led to the corner in the first place. Jordan Ayew took the corner himself at the back post, keeper not able to hold on, and it's not an opportunist goal for Jiku. So yeah, the footballing gods all working nicely in favour of the Black Stars in that little brief period of about 2 minutes.
Well, I tell you, this stubborn defence of Mali has been let down, I suppose, by the weakest link in Diarra. Diarra has really let his team down, as you said initially, with that poor goalkeeping, with a shot from distance, and then to follow up with the corner.
On the turn, there was a deflection, and nicely cleared away by Gideon Mensah for Ghana. If Asini Yoko had got a bit more purchase on that ball, there might have been trouble for Benjamin Asare. But you can be sure now that Mali are going to throw everything at Ghana. This man Kamara, creative force in the midfield with his captain Aliou Dieng. Haven't seen any changes by either Otto Addo or the Saint-Fiet. And Tom Saint-Fiet will know the situation as it is at the moment. If they lose to Ghana tonight, the campaign, even though there's 2 matches over, and they can be influential in seeing which way the group goes. But if Mali lose tonight, they are out of contention for a direct route to the World Cup finals. However, they could, if they win their last 2 matches, and get some benefit with Comores and Madagascar not making it through, then they could be one of the 4 best second-place teams out of the 9 groups that we have so far. Madagascar at the moment are one of those best 4 groups. I'll give you who the teams are. I'll tell you what, it's almost like a mini African Cup of Nations, almost like a mini World Cup. Cameroon, Senegal, Madagascar, Gabon are the teams in that position. Bit of pressure here on goalkeeper Jigui Diarra. But Madagascar in Group I are one of those teams in the 4 potential best second place qualifying sides, and maybe Mali doesn't even make that situation. So let's have a look at the remaining games for Mali then. Mali to take on Chad in round 9, and even though it's away from home, who knows what could happen in that one. And in the final matches against Madagascar at home, and Madagascar are playing tremendous football at the moment. However, Madagascar's playing the last 2 matches both away from home, against the Comores and against Mali, and both Comores and Mali are contenders in Group I. So I tell you what,
both of their opponents. I mean, saying that they could end up with what, 18 points, which is not enough if you look at the fact that
they can't win the group if they lose tonight.
Yeah, they can't win the group, but they, as you said, they could go for position number 2, one of the 4 best top spots. That's the best they can hope for. But it's still not a game that is decided. I do think they're going to throw caution to the wind, which could obviously favour Ghana with the space left behind and the attacking quality Ghana with Ayew, Kudus, Semenyo. That would be a risk, but a risk worth taking.
Well, I think what's lurking in the back of Ghana's mind at the moment is that 88th goal they conceded against bottom side Chad in the previous match, and if they had to do that tonight, I reckon Coach Otto Addo will be called into an office somewhere in the Ghanaian FA's.
I think he'll be fired. I think he'll be fired. I'll tell you what. I don't think a team like this would suffer that fate twice.
Kudus suddenly out on the left-hand side. The ball took a deflection, I think, of the captain, Dieng. And again, there's protest from Mali, who didn't think that their skipper had flicked the ball away. I certainly did think so.
Well, he did extremely well. And it's just quality defending from Dieng. He kept close to him, he marshaled him, and he ensured that he didn't have a clear shot on target. Great defending by Dieng.
Kudus has been mighty influential tonight. Semenyo to AU. Big players waiting in the penalty area, including Thomas Partey. Keeper comes out and punches. Partey with possession, goes on the acrobatic route. Still an opportunity for Ghana. And again, instead of concentrating on clearing the ball, there's a couple of defenders from Mali that are protesting to the far side assistant referee instead of concentrating on the play at hand. It's a curious way of defending.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And the thing is, the leadership from the keeper is not that convincing as well. He's coming out, he came out with that particular cross, wasn't convincing enough.
Ghana lead by a goal to nil. 12 minutes into the second half. In front of the adoring home supporters. Just to remind you that Ghana have never lost to Mali in a World Cup qualification encounter. And just to tell you as well that out of the 9 groups, 2 teams, only 2 out of the 9 with 2 matches remaining as we watch this little parry forward. Good work done by Jonas Ejete defensively in front of Lassana Coulibaly. But only 2 teams so far with 2 matches remaining in all of the groups. That'll come to an end tomorrow, and maybe we'll have some more qualified. 2 teams are qualified for the FIFA World Cup finals. In Group E, Morocco. In Group H, Tunisia. As Mali look to make their first change. Isn't going to happen before their first corner. Incredibly, 58 minutes into the match, and Mali have their first corner. They're going to make a double change here by the look of things. It's going to be Doucouré who's going to make way in one of the changes. And Lassana Coulibaly as well. And on in their place then will come the number 10, Guasu Diarra, and Nene Dogeles. Dogeles, don't forget, scored against the Comores in their previous match just in round 7. So understandably why the number 7 would be on, and immediately Dogeles has a touch. Kelly Burensky. Partey. Look at the numbers forward here for the Black Stars. I'm not sure that ball was played into the right area. It's just bisected Gideon Mensah and Jordan Ayew. Dogeles Nene.
Look at that defensive structure that Ghana has put up. Proactive defending, marking in advance, not allowing Mali to settle. And I suppose the fear in their minds is not to concede late in this game. There's still 30 odd minutes to go. Lots of work for Ghana. I suppose a cushion goal will be extremely welcoming for this Ghanaian team. That's their ticket to the World Cup.
Nene playing just wide here on the right-hand side. Played at Red Bull Salzburg, and he's moved over to Fenerbahce since then. Well, that's a rather dismal-looking pass from Salim Diakite, the right-sided fullback. We've had an hour of football in Accra. The home side lead by a goal to nil. This could be a turning point for Ghana.
Now they need to ensure that they don't lose concentration. You know, this is not a team, Mali, that you can take lightly. They know what is at stake, Mali. They know losing tonight will basically say to them, you don't have that automatic route to the World Cup final. So yeah, they're going to look to do everything in their power.
Referee having a chat to Jordan Ayew, something happening that referee's not happy with and needs to be sorted out. Tom Steinfeet, in the meantime, in discussion with the fourth official. And play will continue with a clearance from Caleb Urensky. Good touch from Kwasi Sibo. Urensky under a little bit of pressure. Nice turn to Partey. And Mali applying pressure with the man and ball at the same time, sort of theory. Mensah into no man's land. Can't afford to commit those sort of mistakes. In the meantime, Nene not able to keep the ball in play. Looks like a dynamic sort of character. Left out of the starting lineup today for Fode Ndukure, whose place he has taken. Other players come on. Diarra, only his third appearance for the national side. Plays at Feyenoord in the Netherlands. Used to play at Istanbul Spor in 24-25 in Turkey. Signed recently with Feyenoord in the Netherlands, a 22-year-old.
Diarra's got his shooting boots on today. It's twice already he's tried his luck from a fairly acute angle out there on the left. Looks like Mustafa Sangare might be coming on in a moment for Mali. More forward power coming on. Nene. Can't quite find the pass, and now the ball comes to a yellow shirt. Well, going to be a yellow card at the end of this move, but meanwhile, still coming forwards here. Kudus can't quite pick out Semenyo. I think it was Semenyo who was chopped down on half-white. I think Kudus has gone down there as well. That's going to be ignored by the Mali players, and rightly so. No head injury. Game carries on. Doumbia still waiting for the substitute. Ball simply hasn't gone out of play. certainly a bit more attack-minded now, Mali. Surprised they were so conservative in the first half, to be honest. Jordan Ayew wants to know why the game wasn't stopped for the injury, but there's no reason for the referee. He does not have to stop the game for every injury, especially considering how often the players fake those injuries as well. Here comes the change then, so Nassim Sinayoko, who struggled to make an impact here, replaced by the Bulgarian-based Mustafa Sangare. Like for like. Substitution there, the 26-year-old applying his trade with Levski Sofia. Comes on. Semenyo was so far offside, he didn't even bother trying to get on the end of that one. He knew the moment he made any sort of movement towards the ball, the flag would go up. Mali ball flicked into the area. On the volley was Nene. He didn't quite catch hold of it. Smash clear. Everyone behind the ball for Ghana at the moment. Not quite in their defensive shape either. 20 minutes to go here. Mali pressing for an equaliser. And Kamara. So we're going to have a first substitution incoming then from Otto Addo. Looks like it's going to be Antoine Semenyo who's been leading the line-up there for Ghana for 70 minutes, and not particularly hot but very humid conditions. Extra blast to the whistle from the referee. Nene with the corner, decent delivery, headed away at the near post. Nene, faced with two defenders, does well with the cutback. Ghana sitting very deep now. So even when they do win the ball, there's no one to pass to, because everyone is behind the ball. Headed away again. Nudged away from Kudus as he tried to pick up the loose ball. Picked up on halfway by Dante. Dieng spreads the ball out wide. Footwork from Diarra. The referee waves play on and then brings it back for the foul. Over on that far side. So here comes the change in. First change made by our host, Antoine Semenyo. Lots of perspiration out there, not his most inspired performance though from the 25-year-old. He'll now be replaced by Kamaldeen Sulemana. Plays in Serie A with Atalanta. And again, it's youth being given its chance. He is 23 years of age. Mali with 18 minutes to try and save their World Cup qualification process. Too many drop points early in the campaign. So, Marnie now playing with a bit more pace. Charging down the left-hand side. Good defending coming across there from Majetti, still the only player on a yellow card in this game, by the way. Jonas Majetti, the Basel-based defender.
But you're not going to win the raffle. In that situation, Kev, you take the shot. And whatever happens, happens. Can you imagine if he strikes that ball cleanly into the top corner, Ghana has two goals to the good. I say take the risk. Sometimes players want to walk the ball in. In that instance, it was the case. Passing the responsibility. Take the shot.
Semeno to Mensah. Finds AU back to the fullback.